So if you're a first-time homebuyer in California or really anywhere, you've probably been watching some videos on how to get started on the process, different down payment assistance options, and most likely you've ended up on some sort of USDA video that's basically telling you can buy a home for 0% down, or you can build one for nothing. You can buy the land and put something you want on it. And they're right. But realistically, most of these videos are leaving out a couple key pieces of information. Now, first off, there's actually 3 different types of USDA loans. And depending on which YouTube videos you're watching, you're hearing about a bunch of different types. And you may not know which one you're actually looking at. You just know it's USDA. And realistically, if you're like any of the people that have reached out to me asking, you probably didn't even know there were different types of USDA videos to be asking about. So in a world where there's YouTube clickbait everywhere telling you what you can do for free, I'm here to speak to you in plain English so you can hopefully understand what's actually possible for you to do. Now, obviously, USDA most likely caught your eye because there are very few loans out there, unless you're in VA, that actually allow a 0% down payment. You don't need down payment assistance. You don't have to stack on the second type of loan. There's just no down payment at all. And when you stack that on top of the fact that USDA has pretty low and pretty good rates, it's very comparable to FHA, if not better for the most part, then it makes sense you're here. You got to here by using your logic. So now let's just show you what your options are so you know moving forward what you can actually do. So the first type of USDA loan is actually the USDA guaranteed loan. Now this loan goes through lenders just like me or any USDA approved lender. They're quick turn times. We can close these in less than 30 days. And these are only meant for buying currently built homes. So existing single family homes. You can't buy land and you can't build with these. Now, income limits do apply. The income limits for this loan are the highest that you're going to see with USDA. Depending on the county, anywhere between $100,000 to $135,000 a year, depending on, again, where you're at. Like all USDA loans, this one is a 0% down, making it achievable for most anybody. Now, this is the USDA loan that is realistic for buyers that have a time frame and want to move sooner. And when lenders say, yes, we do USDA loan, this is what they're talking about. They're not talking about the USDA direct. They're talking about the USDA guaranteed loan. Now, the second type of USDA loan is the USDA direct, or the RD loan. Now, this one goes through the USDA department itself within the state. So this one cannot go through lenders. So if you're reaching out to a lender saying, hey, can you do USDA loans? No lenders can do the buy and build. You have to go directly through the state. Now, this USDA direct loan are the buy and build. These are low to very low income limits, to where the USDA guaranteed was 100 to 130 if you're in California, depending on the county you're in. This is going to be low and very low income limits. So most of the time, this is under between $60,000 and $80,000, depending on the county you're in. These also have super long wait times. So depending on your time frame and what you're looking to do, usually these are a minimum of 1 year and a max of 3 to 4 years to actually get approved for and finalized, if you can get approved at all. But the cool part is, and this is where the clickbait of all the other YouTube channels come in, is you can use this loan to buy a land 0% down and then build a house on it. Now, to be clear, I'm not knocking this loan. I think this loan is an awesome opportunity, but very few people can fit into the qualifications. And I've never heard of anybody actually doing this in California because of the income limits, at least not in the last 10 years. And as I said, this loan is where most of the YouTube videos are referencing. You're going to see these loans that say, I bought a farm, I bought farmland, I bought a piece of land and built a home on it. Again, great option, and it works. If you're willing to wait for it and jump through the hoops, you can do it. But what they don't tell you is in California, because of not only high prices, but low income limits and the waiting times, this is not a super realistic loan to just jump into because you decided you want to buy a house. Now, on these loans, I actually reached out to the USDA department directly and sent them a couple emails, and I made another video about it called the USDA construction loans. And basically, it's a 3-year wait on average. So that video is going to be linked right here. Go check it out. If you're interested in learning more about this loan, there's a lot more information on that. And again, I talked directly to the USDA department. So it's not just my take on it. It's what they told me is how this process worked. Now, the last one is the USDA 504 Repair and Rehabilitation Loan, and it can be a grant too. This is not for buying houses. This is for fixing homes. Usually you have to have a USDA first mortgage in order to do this. I don't know a ton about this program, so I'm not going to speak into something I don't know about, but it's used for mainly health and safety repairs, not for upgrading your kitchen because you want to. Now, with that being said, there's also USDA farm loans where you can go to the county with a business proposition and buy agriculture land, either to build a farm, or maybe you have horse stables and you're going to be boarding horses, something like that, where you actually have a business plan to purchase. You can buy farmland with things like that too. Again, that's something you're going to go through the state and do. that cannot be done through a lender. So most of us don't have almost any information on it because we can't do them. Now, I keep talking about the difference between finding a lender and going directly through the state. Now, the part that most people miss is when you hear find a lender who does USDA, that only applies to the guaranteed USDA loan. If you want to do the direct loan where you buy and build, buy farmland or any sort of repair grants, you have to go directly through your state's USDA program. So most likely, if you're seeing a YouTube video about building a house and buying land for zero down, it's probably talking about the USDA direct loan, which is, again, very possible, but you have to wait your turn in line, at least in California. Again, when I reached out to the USDA department, it was in California that I was talking to them, that I was asking them these questions, and that's the specifics they gave me. So if you're watching this video and trying to figure out what to do next, if you want to buy a home this year, look into the USDA guaranteed loan. Now, this loan is done by lenders. That's the one that's going to be the quickest. It's not going to take a bunch of hoops to jump through, but it will get you into something and you can do it quick. We can get you pre-approved and close these in less than 30 days usually. So if you're looking at actually purchasing a home this year, has to be single family and you have to live there. You can purchase through a USDA guaranteed and it's going to be the 0% down. Now, if you're in the very low or low income limits, which I am posting below, by the way, the PDFs are down there for you to click on. And you're okay with a 1 to 3 year wait. The USDA direct loan is challenging, but it is possible in California. So if you're looking at something like that, where specifically you want to buy and build, you should check directly through the USDA or the RD department, the Rural Development Department, and they can help you out with that. But just remember, it's going to take some time. Now, if you are interested in doing the USDA guaranteed loan, I actually have a video I did up here why no one uses the USDA loans, or at least why not in California. Go check it out. I go through a lot of the back end on the debt to income ratio, the loan to value, and the overall stipulations of the loan on why it's so hard to use in general. You don't see a whole lot of USDA loans, and it's not because you won't qualify. It's because of some of the other factors that include in it. So if you want to go see that, click up there and that's going to have that video for you. Now, lastly, if you don't want to go and watch a bunch of hours worth of YouTube videos to try to figure out what's going to work for you, go talk to your lender, because that is what we do here. Our only job, it's the same application whether you go USDA, FHA, or conventional. We just have to move some things around. If you want to see if you qualify for USDA, down in the description below, I have my link there. You can schedule an appointment with me personally. We'll do a Zoom call, talk over your questions first, and then if you want to move forward, we can do an application. And if you're looking past those clickbait 0% down loans and you're just trying to figure out what's going to work for you, I also have a bunch of videos on down payment assistance, which I'm linking up here and below in the description. Go check those out as well. I talk about a lot of different down payment assistance options here in California and how they can help you as a buyer get into your first home for little to almost nothing down. And as always, if you just want some straight answers, go ahead and say subscribe to my channel. I do my best to lay it out clear and straight for you. It's not going to be a bunch of BS and trying to figure out what's going on, but just giving you some actual information and education on the lending process, because I was in your shoes once and I wish someone would have sat down with me and done the same thing. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it when you watch my videos and I hope they're helpful to you, and I'll see you next time. If you have any questions, go ahead and comment below or reach out. I'd love to talk with you.